Hello, welcome to DGD. Basically this is going to be our first sort of lesson and we're going to introduce our first game, which will be a box puzzle game. The main concept of this game came from the website creatingthegames.com. It's basically created a similar sort of game, well, pretty much the exact same game, but in Game Maker Studio 1. So we're going to update this, make it for Game Maker Studio 2, and I'm just going to quickly show you the mechanics of the game, etc. Okay, so if we look at the screen here, you can see that the basic premise of the game is that you have this little man whose job is to move these crates around, move these boxes around and basically get them onto these pallets. Okay, you can push the boxes. The boxes can't be pushed through a wall, and also the box cannot be pushed through another box, or you can't push two boxes at the same time because they will be too heavy. Okay, so once you move one of these boxes to the actual pallet, it's going to change that sprite and also lock it in place so you can't move it anymore. And then, as you can see, your score's changed to 1. Number of boxes is the number of boxes you need to get in place, so we need one more. And there we go. So it's as simple as that, really. Once the puzzle's been solved, click any key or press the mouse, and that will then take you to the next level. Okay, as you can see on this one, this time we've got 5 boxes, and this can be a bit more difficult because you have to think about where you're actually putting them. Okay, if you actually put a box down here, you can't actually get this out, so now you're basically stuck. Okay, we're going to set this up so that you can press replay and it will basically replay the game, and then that will actually work once I've set that up. Okay, so let's get started. So I'm just going to close Game Maker down. Okay, and then reopen. Reason for this, so that you can see what you're going to get when you first open this package. Okay, so we're going to go for a new game, and we're going to use the drag and drop system for this particular game. This is just to get you used to thinking logically, thinking about mechanics, and also just having a look at this new Game Maker feature, well, the drag and drop feature of Game Maker. Okay, so we're going to click on this one. A new game will be this game. Okay, so once you open Game Maker and you created a new project, you will see that everything's empty here except for room. That's because Game Maker will automatically create your first room when you create a project. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to basically add some sprites. Okay, so create sprite, Alt S is the shortcut. So here we go. You will then be given this sort of window here. If you want to move things around, if you press your middle wheel mouse button, that will basically move these windows so you can see and sort of position them where you want them to be. Okay, so we can see here our name of our sprite. Okay, it's sprite 0 at the moment. You can see there the default size is 64 by 64. So we're going to import our first file. Okay, so we'll go to level, and as you can see here, I've got 4 different sprites that we're going to import today, and we'll start with the box. Okay, you can see now the size has changed to 32 by 32. That's the size we're going to be using, and we're also going to change the alignment of this. At the moment it's aligned in the top left hand corner. That's the default. You can also, if you want to customize that, you can press wherever you want to go and it will align it there. We're going to actually go for middle center. Okay, so that one is now aligned and created. Okay, the only other thing we need to do is give it a name. We're going to stick with the SPR for Sprite, and then we're going to go box. Okay, that's just a basic naming convention that a lot of people in GameMaker use, and the reason for that is you now know that that's a sprite. Okay, and it's a box. Right, so that's that one done. I'll go new sprite. Middle. We'll call this one box in place. So once the box is on the palette, it's going to change into this one. New sprite. Okay, that one's aligned, and then press Alt-S with a shortcut, and this time we'll do the last one, which is our wall. Okay, so as you can see there, that's all our sprites in there for our actual environment. We're just going to now import our player sprites. Okay, so again, Alt-S for shortcut, and this time we're going to get our player. Okay, so as you can see here, we've got lots of different ones for our player. We've got up, down, left and right. Okay, so sleep them down, and as you can see with this one, it's actually got a little animation with it. So if I press play there, you can see, you know, it's got this little walking animation, which will happen when it's actually walking in that direction. Okay, so this one is SPR player, and it's facing down, so the direction is going to be down. Okay, again, we're going to align that to middle center. And that's that one done. And we're going to do this for all four. SPR player right. Middle. And then the last one. It's going to be up. And middle. Okay, so now we've actually got all our sprites in there, and we've also got a room down here. So I'll just double click on this room so you can see what we've got here. So our settings at the moment are basically 1024 by 768, which is standard sort of, you know, HD width. But what we want to do, because we're actually doing like a tiled level, and our boxes are 32 by 32, we want to sort of fit those in a grid that's going to be sort of divisible by that number. Okay, so if we go for 640, okay, that should give us 20 by 20 grid. Alright, so as you can see there, that's 20 by 20. Also, you get settings here for the actual grid. You can change the colour of the grid itself. Okay, you can also change the actual width of the grid. So if we, for example, went for a 64 by 64 grid, you see now we've got 10 by 10. Okay, and you could have sort of better quality sprites. Okay, but at the moment we're just going to go for 32 by 32 because that's the size of our sprites. You can't actually drag these sprites onto here at the moment because they need to be objects. Okay, so that's what we're going to do, unless obviously you drag them onto the background layer, which I don't want to do. Okay, so right, so we'll go over to objects first of all, and then I'll come back and explain a bit more about the room when we actually start making the level and the layers, etc., which are over here. So we're going to create an object. Okay, similar sort of thing to the sprites. You get this little sort of menu system here where first of all we will go for the box. Okay, so this time this is going to be an object box. Okay, and that is actually going to have the sprite attached to it that we've imported earlier. Alright, and we're going to do exactly the same thing for the other items we've got. Shortcut, Alto. Okay, so this time we will add our box in place. There we go. Alto for the shortcut. Again, we will go for palette. So OBJ, naming convention, palette, Alto shortcut, and then we'll go for our wall. Then we'll go for our player. Okay, and we're just going to call this OBJ player. Okay, as we're going to move our player with the keys, etc., we won't need to create a separate object for every single one of these animations. So at the moment that is just going to be facing down, but we will change that later on. Okay, so now we've done that, let me just go back to the room so we can just sort of have a look at how we can sort of start creating a level. Okay, so at the moment we've got our background layer, this is black, so you can change the colour of that if you want to. Just change that to like a light grey colour. Okay, and you've got instances. Okay, now the instances layer will be things like objects that we're going to place. Now, it's a good idea to sort of layer some of these things out so that, for example, we always want the player to be in front of most items in here. So I'm going to create my first instance, I'm going to rename that, and that's going to be my player layer. Okay. Okay, I'm going to create a new instance layer, and this one is going to be for our walls, and then finally we'll do our palettes. Okay, And let's just put our player at the top, palette at the bottom. Okay, in fact with the palette one, in fact the wall one, if we do that, it's wall and boxes. Okay, so let's start off with our player, drag him onto the stage. Now you can see here, because we've aligned centre of the boxes, sorry, of the grids, that's actually aligned to the centre on here. Okay, we go for our boxes, so again you can drag those on, so, and then our walls, so we can start creating a wall. If you use Alt, you can basically select and sort of duplicate. So we're sort of making a bit of a level here. Okay, so just for this particular level, we'll just put on one palette, one box, and one player. In fact, no, we'll put two boxes on, two palettes, so we can do our collisions for duplicate boxes as well. Okay, so that's our first sort of thing drawn out. If we press play, you'll see there's our layer. Our man is automatically walking on his own because it's just playing through that animation, and nothing's going to happen at all. We've done no coding for keys, etc., or interactions. So that's going to be the end of this first tutorial. The next tutorial is going to be where we're actually going to make the player move and sort of work out the collisions, etc., of the game. So see you next time.